Hey, the fight for the Second Amendment is also happening in Orange County. Orange County Gun Owners leads the fight on the city and county levels to defend and protect your self-defense rights. How do they do it?
I don't know.
They do it by fundraising and getting local pro-gun candidates elected. Become a member today. Go to ocgunowners.com/join and join the growing number of responsible gun owners stepping up to defend our Second Amendment rights. That's ocgunowners.com.
So let's see. We got winners and prizes and stuff, don't we?
Yeah, you do.
And then we want to talk about the election that happened last week. Mm-hmm. So subscribe and win. Subscribe to our email list and win some swag. This week's winner is Austin King.
Need to send an email.
There we go. Okay, Austin. Email prizes@gunownersradio.com to claim your T-shirt or hat. You know, I think Austin I think he's my favorite winner in a while. You know why?
Because it was easier to say.
Because I can pronounce his name. Everybody else has been like 14 consonants and then a Y. Some vowel I've never even heard of. Okay.
Try recording Hawaiian commercials like we have to do nowadays.
Oh, see, I lived in Hawaii for 4 years.
He's having all kinds of trouble. He's having to do voiceovers for every letter in the alphabet.
Not even joking. If you need help with that, let me know.
Okay, I will.
Now that I'm thinking it through, it's been a while. But dude, I was like, I was the king. What was it? What's the state fish for Hawaii? Yeah, you know,
tuna.
No,
what?
It's the humu humu nuku nuku wapa wapa.
Is it really?
Yep.
Is it tasty?
It's tiny.
Oh well.
The name is.
How could that fish be bigger? The name be bigger than the fish?
The name is bigger than the fish. The humu humu nuku nuku wapa wapa.
Okay, remember I talked about that guy in the subway?
Yes.
That's our topic.
No, we're not sure what we're talking about.
Well, I know, but it's our topic.
What? But no, it's not our topic.
Somebody wrote it down.
Well, he's wrong. He's always wrong.
Okay.
Okay. So what we do want to talk about is the fact there was an election last week and that it was for the supervisor. What happened was everybody's
4th district.
Yep, 4th District 4. Everyone's favorite supervisor got kicked out of office. Mm-hmm. Nathan Fletcher. Mm-hmm. Aw. I sure wish him the best.
I do too. I understand he's in rehab.
He needs to be in a lot of rehabs. Good. I wonder what he's doing. I hope
I've seen him at In-N-Out. He's flipping
burgers.
Yeah, I seen him.
I don't think he's qualified.
Yeah, well, he was yelling at everybody.
Well, he flipped parties, so now he's flipping burgers.
Yeah.
That's a meme. There's a meme there somewhere.
There's got to be a meme right there.
Flipping burgers to flipping parties to flipping burgers. So he got booted out of office, which is awesome. I can't even tell you. I get so frustrated with the political process, and when a bad person gets booted out of office like that and is disgraced. Like I was really I was worried about the idea of him obtaining higher office and then eventually kind of being this respected statesman that everyone listens to after he's out of office. But no, he's a disgraced loser who harassed a woman, at least one woman, and I hope he just absolutely has a miserable rest of his life. I really, truly do, because he's not a good guy. So that sparked a special election, and there was a runoff, and now there's a winner. And Amy Reichert, who San Diego County Gun Owners endorsed, unfortunately didn't quite make it. So I wanted to talk about exactly why that happened. Why was she unable to win? And it really doesn't. A lot of people. Well, the candidate or the amount of work or the organization or not enough this or not enough that or whatever. Really, truly boiled down to math. That district, District 4 for the supervisors, is, first off, that's 1/5 of the county. So there's 3.5 million people in the county. Not all of them are voters. Certainly not all of them are, 18, so they're not even old enough to vote. But that's still, that district in theory represents about 1/5 of 3.5 million people. That's a huge district. That's a lot of people. And that district in particular covered a lot of downtown San Diego. That is predominantly registered Democrat. A lot of Democrats. I don't mean it's not even close. There are a ton of Democrats registered in that district. So right off the bat, the math is enormously impossible. If every single person voted, which they don't, it's rarely even the majority of registered or of people who could vote. Sometimes even it's the minority of people who are registered to vote who even show up to vote. But if everybody showed up to vote, it may be a different thing. But huge math problem, number one, and everybody recognized that. Everybody knew it. Anybody who's putting any kind of money into elections, and analyzed it and said, hey, you know what? The math is so far against us that it's just there's no way. We're not going to win.
May I point out very quickly, Michael, I just looked it up on livevoterturnout.com.
Mm-hmm.
Only 22% of people actually turned out to vote in that district alone. That's it.
So that's 22% of registered voters in that district?
Correct.
It's not even 22% of people who could register and vote.
Exactly.
So it's a tiny percentage of people that even showed up, which is, part of the problem. But it could be made. The case could be made that, hey, if every single Republican had shown up and voted, you know what? That's totally true. And if frogs had wings, they could fly. It never happens. It's never going to happen. It's not a realistic scenario. So the other thing is the Democrats ran a candidate who was already elected, someone who's already been voted into office on the city council. And that person's district was, I think, entirely inside District 4. So her city council district was almost entirely, if not entirely, in District 4. And in that district, she received something like 70% of the votes when she ran. So she's a popular incumbent for city council. She's a popular elected official for city council, and her whole district is in District 4, and the math is heavily skewed towards her political party, which is Democrat. I mean, just that is that before you even analyze, how good was how good was Amy? How good was her campaign? How good was her campaign manager? How good were her skills as far as running? Even before you even look at any of that, she could be the best in the whole world, and the math is so far against her that,
But only 22% voted?
Only 22% of the registered voters voted. Now, that number may go up a little bit because they haven't probably totally counted, but still.
Then I don't want to hear anything out of that district.
Well, I hear you.
Send all the immigrants there.
But the point is, Dave, you're not going to hear anything about the district because that district got who they wanted. The district is so heavily skewed Democrat. They're not. They voted for Nathan Fletcher.
Yeah, that's true. So even if it was 80%, she would have still lost.
Likely. I mean, like I said, if every Republican had shown up and voted, now I don't know why they didn't vote.
She still would have lost.
Well, she may have been able to pull it off, but that's just not a realistic scenario. Like I said,
see, that's the problem with the Republican Party.
Well, it's the problem with it's human nature. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Republican Party. I'm certainly not a fan of the Democratic Party, but it's kind of human nature. So to expect a 100% turnout or even a 90% turnout is against human nature.
But and it's also one of the biggest problems with California.
It's a problem. It is 100%.
I mean, it's all over the United States, but California. I mean, that's because we're so heavy on one side.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess when somebody says, "Well, could you send money to my campaign?"
Well,
why would I send money to your campaign?
Well, generally don't send money to the party. If anything, send it to the campaign or send it to San Diego County gun owners because you trust what.
No, I would send it to you.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want to get across here, though, guys. Is you guys are going, well, wait a minute. Look at all the bad, horrible things that have happened in the last couple of years. Why didn't they vote against it? Because if you talk to the typical voter in District 4, the things you're describing as bad, they count as a success. And until we get that into our heads, we're not going to be effective activists.
Exactly. All right.
That the things that we think are horrible, they think are a success, and vice versa, by the way. Like if we're like, hey, this person, look what they did for gun rights, they'd be like, yeah, it's a huge failure. So until you understand that there are people who disagree with you, and then start to successfully navigate that,
right?
It's a lost cause.
Sounds like a little bit of an uphill battle.
It's a little bit of an uphill battle. Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, Or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.